So what do we got here?
Well, it's a desk, but it's not really a desk. It's actually a gun.
It's a gun desk.
Yes, when you push down on the inkwell, a bullet fires out through the trap door.
Sweet, that means I got a gun aimed at my right now.
I'm coming down to the pawn shop today to try and sell my gun desk. I have no idea how much it's worth. I just really am curious what it was used for and how old it is. If I sell it, that's fine. If I don't, I'm okay with that too.
Where in the world did you get this?
I got it in an estate sale. I was just looking for a nice little desk to put a guest book on. When we got it home, I was trying to figure out how to open it and had a really good look inside it and said, you know, this isn't a desk, this is a gun.
I've seen guns concealed in all kinds of things. Swords, canes, even cameras. I've seen desks with hidden gun compartments, but I've never seen a desk as a gun. It's something straight out of a James Bond movie.
It's not
Why are
loaded.
you sticking your face in there?
This is why I'm keeping it at an angle here.
I just don't get it. I mean, you're really not going to stop anybody if you shoot them in the thigh with a small .22 like that.
Well, it's not even a regular .22, it's a .22 short or something, it looks like. I mean, the problem is there's no barrel there. The bullet is not going to come out with a lot of power because there's no barrel for back pressure to build up to send the bullet flying. I have never seen one before. I have no idea what this thing is. I only buy guns that are made 1898 and back. That makes it an antique firearm that doesn't have to be registered with the ATF or anything else like that. The problem I have here is I don't know the date this thing was made. Do you mind if I have a buddy look at this thing? Because I am just completely lost here.
Not at all. That's
Thanks.
great.
I really want this desk. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But until I know for sure it was made in 1898 or before, I can't legally buy it.
So where's the gun?
This is the gun.
What? My name is Sean Rich. I own Tortuga Trading Incorporated, and I specialize in antique arms and armor.
This thing is a gun. You press there's the trigger. That falls down, hits the hammer. The bullet flies out this way. You ever seen one?
I've never seen this. What is the practical application? That's what's going through my head.
I don't see one myself.
To have this all built in like this in a tiny little desk, nobody's gonna buy this for their children. I have been collecting guns and weapons since I was 10 years old. I've never seen anything like this. You can see that it's been broken in half once before, but I do not think that a bullet hitting this broke that in half. And if it did, it would have blown this completely off.
Oh, I
or it
didn't
would
know
have put
that.
a hole in it at the very
Yes.
minimum. The realm that this item falls into is a collector's novelty. It could have been even just a one-off or maybe a movie prop, what have you. Who knows what it was really used for?
The other thing is, I don't know how old this thing is.
Anything manufactured before 1898 is okay. You can ship it, you can buy and sell, no problem. Anything after 1898 has to be registered through an FFL licensed dealer with the ATF. The barrel is so tiny, but it's open-ended, means that it could shoot a projectile, and that's an issue. And the other part of this is that, okay, it's one to have a gun, but now you have a concealed weapon because it's a hidden gun. Have you had it apart?
Yes.
Okay, was there any name of manufacturer or any kind of markings on the firing mechanism?
There was the beginnings of a patent number. It said patent 1, and then you can't read the rest.
It looks to be in that 1890s to about 1910 era,
Oh,
but
good.
I couldn't tell you one way or the other for absolute certainty. So if I can't guarantee it, it's a gray area for you and it's not worth the risk. Here's an option. You'd have to bring it to a gunsmith and have him professionally deactivate the mechanism. Then it can be legal to buy and sell.
Oh, I'd love to do that then. That's what I'll do.
I wish I could help you out more. It's just one of those things. Thanks for bringing it in.
Oh, you're welcome.
I really wish I could have bought this because the odds of another gun desk coming in here are slim to none. But the law is the law. Hopefully she'll get it deactivated and bring it back because I would love to have it.
Hey, how can I help you?
I have this guitar here, and I wasn't sure whether or not I could legally sell it.
Yeah, I've never had anyone ask me if it's legal to sell their guitar. And that would explain why. It's a tortoise shell. Okay.
I came to the pawn shop today to see if I could sell my turtle shell guitar. As far as its value, I had no clue. If I was able to sell it today, that money will go towards my daughter's college.
Where in the world did you get this?
I bought it at a pawn shop, and for some reason I was drawn to it. I've done a little bit of research on it. The UK government has one that they confiscated through customs. So does the Australian government, and there's a very limited amount of them.
For centuries and centuries, people have used tortoiseshell for everything. I mean, it was really prized for a long time. Tortoiseshell was real popular back in the day for making combs, sunglasses, guitar picks, all sorts of stuff. It looks cool and it's incredibly durable. But some tortoises became endangered. So in the early 70s, the trade in tortoiseshell was banned. I mean, it really is beautiful. The way the light goes through it, it's browns and reds and oranges. But my problem here at the moment is, I don't know if it's early 70s or older, which would determine whether it's legal for me to buy this thing. You have to think about it. A bald eagle feather is a $10,000 fine. It doesn't matter if you thought it was a turkey feather. If it turns out to be a bald eagle feather, they're gonna take it from you, they're gonna fine you 10,000 bucks and tell you ignorance is no excuse for the law.
So I've never been here today.
I have a friend with a store right down the street, so he might know the laws on it.
That sounds good.
Okay, let me give him a call.
All right.
I've seen a lot of instruments come through the store, but never anything like this. Making a new guitar out of tortoiseshell would be against the law. So if I can verify that this is old enough and legal to own, then we're looking at an extremely rare find here. Hey man, how's it going?
Pretty good, how you doing?
All right. This is the guitar I called you about.
Wow, sea turtle maybe? Cool, very cool. Guys usually call me down when they have anything with strings on it. I used to play in a bunch of different punk rock bands when I was younger, so it's kind of surprising I can even remember anything, let alone all the stuff I've learned about guitars over the years.
So do you know anything about these things?
They were kind of big after World War II, Korean War. Guys would bring them back from the Pacific, and I know they go for a premium. They go for a lot of money.
So do you have any idea how these sound?
You know, I know that bluegrass guys prefer a real tortoiseshell pick because of the sound, the tone of the pick. Looks like it'd be a weird scale length. The neck looks really short, but not having strings on it, I kind of have no idea. It could sound amazing.
Okay.
You know? So, I mean, what are your concerns?
Basically, is it legal to own? And any idea what it's worth?
This is kind of a tough one because I don't think you'd get in any trouble owning it because there's a lot of this stuff floating around. It's been around from, you know, ever. People have been making stuff out of tortoise. But I don't know about selling it. I would think one that was made really well, you could probably get some money for. And somebody did a lot of work on the inlay. You can see the Rosetta pattern around the sound hole matches the binding and stuff. But this is kind of a tough one. Honestly, dude, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. There's people that have done 10 months of in-house arrest and paid like 20 grand in fines for selling this stuff illegally. That's something I would be concerned with, you know?
All right. Thanks, man.
No problem. Catch you guys later.
Hey, thanks.
Good luck with it, man.
Hey, thank you. I'm going to look at my options as to what I can and can't do with it. I've got 2 girls, and I don't want jail visits from them.
What do we got?
I brought in a 1950s German spy camera.
Very Inspector Gadget of you.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my 1950s Minox 3 German spy camera. It's about the size of a cigarette lighter. I'm hoping to get about $150 for it. It's my 30th birthday, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of extra spending cash.
Where'd you get it?
It was actually given to me from my mom, given to her from her father, who was in the military in Germany in the 1950s.
So how's it work?
You adjust these little dials here depending on what you're trying to take your photo of. You open it up, it opens up the shutter. You have our little viewfinder there. Then you snap your picture, and it loads that photo right onto the film.
Pretty much just like how every other old camera works.
Yeah, pretty standard, yeah.
Ever since the James Bond movies came out in the 1960s, people have just had a fascination with spies. If this camera was used in the field by an actual secret agent, it could definitely be worth some money to the right collector. Now, as far as this actually being a spy camera, I'm gonna have to call a little bit of bullshit on it. Spy cameras aren't sold to the public. They're made by the CIA or the German equivalent of the CIA. If you give a 10-year-old a camera and say it's not just a camera, it's a spy camera, it probably got you out of your parents' hair for a couple hours a day until you got tired of it and threw it in a drawer. This isn't a super valuable camera, but it's unique enough that some photography collector out there would probably really like to have it. What do you want for it?
No, I was looking to get about $100 for it.
You have a fairly cool item here, man. I mean, it is something that photographers do collect. You have a few major things wrong with it, though. It's old, antiquated technology. I'm not going to be able to get any film for it.
Okay.
You have Bill McCord's name and social security number carved on it. I'm assuming you're not Bill McCord?
I'm not.
Second of all, somebody engraved something in there right there and removed it. For me to buy something and say serial number removed, and the fact that you're not Bill McCord's name on it,
Sure.
those are the 3 biggest red flags I can put into my computer system that there possibly is.
Okay.
I'd say it'd be worth about $50, $60 to the right guy. But with all this on there, it makes it completely illegal for me to have anything to do with it.
All right, man.
So I appreciate you coming in, man.
Hey, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you very much.
I don't think this camera is stolen, but in the eyes of the law, it might as well be. Scratched off serial numbers are a huge red flag in the pawn business. And to tell you the truth, I just don't want to deal with it.
I've got a Penn State University 1973 Orange Bowl ring.
Okay. When did Joe Paterno start coaching? Like 1966?
Still coaching today.
He makes my grandfather seem young.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my Penn State Orange Bowl ring from 1973. We're remodeling our house, and I could use the money. I think it's worth at least $1,500.
Pops,
Hey, what's up?
let me check that out. Penn State Orange Bowl ring.
Okay, where'd you get this?
You know, I went to Penn State, and guy down the hall played on the team, and he needed some money, and I bought it back then. It was a big year for Penn State because they had the undefeated season.
The name speaks for itself. I mean, it's Penn State. Everybody knows who Penn State is. I mean, they're one of the more historic football teams out there. I mean, I think their first game was in 1886. Penn State has a huge football tradition. And with such a big following, there's people that collect anything Penn State.
On the one side has a player's name and his number and their record, which was 12-0, and it has a score from the Orange Bowl.
So who's Jay Clark?
You know, it was Jeff Clark. He didn't play too much, but he was an outside linebacker for the team.
I just love championship rings. I do got a few of them.
What are you looking to get out of it?
I'd like to get $1,500.
Okay. Mind if I take a closer look?
Sure.
Did you have this ring worked on?
No.
This is the way you got it?
Yeah, that's the way I got it.
I got a problem with this ring.
What's that?
Engraving's been removed on it.
Ooh.
I don't really understand what that does to the ring.
You take a normal wedding band that's been engraved, the engraving makes it 100% identifiable. You take the engraving out, there's no identifying it.
This is a cool ring, and the price is reasonable. But it's illegal for me to buy or sell anything when any identifying mark has been removed on an item. Serial numbers, engravings, anything like that.
I'd be more than happy to buy it off you for $1,500. Problem is, it's like buying a car without a VIN number.
I could see with a wedding ring, but I mean, here it's Penn State University, it's 1973.
I know that, but you have to look at it from my position. Okay? I can't take it.
Okay.
All right, dude.
Okay.
Sorry I couldn't do nothing with it.
Okay.
I know 1,001 people I could have sold this ring to and made a nice profit. There's no way I'm gonna buy a ring with the engraving removed. Plain and simple.
Hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I have a coin I think you might be interested in.
What do you got here?
It's a shekel of Tyre, like from the Bible.
Yeah, we only buy American coins, man, so you'll have to take it somewhere else.
Hold on. Since when did we only start buying American coins?
I thought that was our rule.
No.
Whatever.
I found the coin in an auction lot, and I thought it was really neat and may have a lot of significant historical value to it, especially for it to be 2,000 years old from biblical times. And I think they could give me a lot of cash for it.
I mean, basically what you have is a really cool coin that is collectible because it's, you know, from Jerusalem. It's from the time of Christ. Supposedly, Judas received 30 pieces of silver to basically drop a dime on Jesus. And it was probably a coin like this.
So there is a possibility this could be one of those coins, is that correct?
No. The odds are highly against it. They made millions of them.
Sure,
Okay?
But there's still a possibility.
It's however minute, okay? The shekel of Tyre was a really common coin a couple thousand years ago in the Middle East, but there aren't many left. And even though we can't prove that this is one of the infamous 30 pieces of silver from the Bible,
It is still valuable due to its rarity. It's really neat how they made coins back then. They struck these with a hammer that was 4 feet long, and the hammer had the face on it. And they literally stood 4 feet back and struck it. Even the most skilled guy with that hammer was never going to get a perfect strike every time. That's why you'll see like this edge is off center. They're all off center a little bit. No two are identical. Everything about this is right. It's perfect. The problem is someone cleaned it. Any coin collector considers a cleaned coin a damaged coin. If this wasn't cleaned, I'd offer you $5,000 for it.
Wow.
Now the big question is how much you want for it?
$2,000.
What do you think, chum?
It's old.
Will you take 14?
I can't do 1,400. I just can't really. I mean, it's got the historical value.
It's also been cleaned.
How about 1,750?
1,500?
I could do 16.
Yeah, 1,600.
Deal.
Okay. All right, you want to go write them up?
Yeah.
$1,600 should help out a lot. We've got a lot of new expenses with an extra kid, and hopefully that'll at least get us some diapers bought for a few months.
So your dad thinks he just bought the coin that Judas was paid to betray Jesus with.
No.
How are you ever going to prove that?
No.
You ain't not going to prove it. What are you going to do, test it for Jesus' DNA?
I make a good buy on an ancient coin, and around here, for some reason, I have to defend myself. Second-guessing all my decisions has become like a hobby for these guys.
What did you buy, Rick?
It wasn't the coin that Judas was paid. It's the same type of coin from the same time period. It's not the coin, chum. I got a good deal on it. I paid $1,600 for it. And as soon as I can get it authenticated, hopefully get $2,500, $3,000, somewhere around there, I'm willing to bet I'm gonna make a pretty decent profit on this. Hopefully that will shut them up.
Well, the price don't sound bad, Rick.
Do you do anything around here anymore besides complain?
Well, that's part of my job.
What's up, Andy?
Hey, guys, I got some potentially bad news.
Andy's our head of security, so when he says he has bad news, it can be really bad. What's up?
An out-of-town detective has called Las Vegas police. The Shekel that you recently brought in, there's a chance it might be stolen. They want to put it on hold.
Well, that's $1,600 down the toilet.
Everything we buy goes into a national computer system. All right, you wanna go write them up?
Yeah.
And if it comes up stolen, we have to give it back. It definitely sucks, but it's part of doing business in a pawn shop. Okay, so this guy stole it?
Not the guy that brought it to us.
So what, it's been in multiple hands, and I'm the last guy, and I'm the one who gets stuck with it?
Pretty much.
Well, they're gonna have to wait. I sent it out to get graded.
That's my dad for you. When it rains, it pours. Obviously, we can't guess what's stolen or not, but throwing away more money on top of it is just his MO.
You know, I mean, it sucks that it happened, but what am I gonna do?
Damn it, Rick, you can be more careful on what you buy.
Well, how am I supposed to be more careful? This guy legitimately bought it from a different guy. This is just a great excuse for you to complain.
To pay for something and then have to give it back? I might have lost my job over that.
You know they have a point, Rick.
Here's the guys, Andy.
My security guy, Andy, found out that the Shekel I bought was stolen. Now he's got some sort of update. I hate to think, what could the problem be now? So what's up?
The coin we've been working with the police on, turns out that the guy who originally owned it got compensated for his loss. It's ours. They released it this morning.
So it's not stolen. Dodged a bullet there. Luckily for us, the coin was insured and the insurance company paid for the loss. So that makes the coin free and clear.
Hey, Rick, don't do the end zone dance yet. We don't even know if the damn thing's real.
If it's real, will you shut up?
Probably not.
Well, here's the moment of truth.
Hand me those scissors.
You think that Shekel's real?
I don't know, I just think somebody should have checked before we bought it.
Yeah, hopefully next time Rick will be more careful.
I've been in the coin business my entire life. It's real, there's no problem.
We get to keep the coin, and they're still giving me hell. It never ends.
Is it real? It's not real.
It's real. See, I told you.
But good for you. After 30 years in the coin business, you got it right.
I hate my family.
What do we got? I have some political memorabilia, the Secret Service ID for J. Howard McGrath, Attorney General of the United States.
Okay.
Some letters signed to him by J. Edgar Hoover, Hubert Humphrey, his White House pass.
Oh, that's cool.
And half of a $10 bill signed to him.
You know, I never got the Secret Service because everybody knows they exist.
I came into the pawn shop today to try and sell some political memorabilia from the Attorney General of the United States, J. Howard McGrath. I really don't know what they're worth. Kind of had a number of 1,000 in my head, but we'll see how it goes.
Where did you get these?
I bought them from his grandson.
All right. McGrath was the Attorney General under Truman, late 40s, early 50s. I don't think McGrath was actually in the Secret Service, but being the Attorney General, I'm sure he could get any credentials he wanted.
He was the top law enforcement official.
J. Howard McGrath was a power player in Washington politics. He was the chairman of the Democratic National Committee when Truman ran for president. So Truman picking him to be Attorney General? Cronyism, you think? These are pretty interesting here. And this right here is...
I believe that is half of a counterfeit $10 bill. They signed it to the Attorney General.
You sure it's counterfeit and just not a bad misprint?
I don't know.
Sometimes when the Bureau of Printing and Engraving make a bill, they screw up. Misprint bills can be worth a lot of money to collectors. But counterfeit money, that's a whole different story. It's a federal offense to use a counterfeit bill, so I'm assuming you can't own one. Yeah, it's counterfeit. All American currency, they throw silk rag in with the paper. So if you pick up a bill and you look at it closely, you'll see little red and blue lines all over it. If that's not there, it's not real. This doesn't have any of those.
All right.
I don't even think it's legal to own this thing.
Okay.
This is an amazing collection. You just never see stuff like this, but it scares the hell out of me. I mean, counterfeit money and Secret Service credentials, this is the kind of stuff that can get me in hot water. You got some neat stuff here, and these three things right here, I really want to get checked out. I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure it's a felony to own this thing.
Yeah, the last thing I need is the feds coming through the door of this place.
Let me go make a phone call. I'll be right back.
Thanks.
I'm really hoping it's legal to keep this stuff because it's awesome. If it checks out, I'll definitely make an offer.
What do we have today?
Well, this is a counterfeit bill, so...
Counterfeit?
Yeah.
I'm the administrator of the Clark County Museum System, and after 35 years in the museum field, there's not much I haven't seen at some point or another. J. Howard McGrath, interesting. You know who he was?
Attorney General of the United States.
Well, he was that too. He was three-term governor of Rhode Island. Okay. He was a senator as well.
Oh, okay.
McGrath was Attorney General from 49 to 52. He presided over a case that got rid of segregation in dining cars on railroads. It was a fairly active time. Now, let me take a look here. Oh, yes, this is his Secret Service credential. The embossing, the seal is right on this, so this is all right. Normally, if you see one, it's been marked retired, so this is quite unusual. Secret Service passes like this, normally they either have a stripe across them or they're marked retired, so it's an interesting one because it's all completely intact.
How collectible is this guy, and is any of this stuff legal to own?
Having a White House pass, they are not real common. They are collected. That, on the other hand, you don't want. A counterfeit bill is not legal to own. So obviously, these guys were probably involved in whatever case this came out of and gave it to them as a souvenir. This is the sort of thing that you don't want to own. In 1950, things were a little looser, and when you're the Attorney General of the United States, some of the laws aren't enforced quite as strongly.
Can we shred it?
No. Best thing to do is turn that in to the Secret Service.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in, Mark.
Not a problem.
You're the best.
Appreciate it. All righty.
What do you want to do with these?
I'd like to sell them.
How much you want for them?
I'd like $1,000.
Not going to happen. We got Howard McGrath. No one knows who he was.
This one's not stamped retired. You heard him say it was rare.
This is not exactly a badge, so it's going to be a little bit harder to sell. It's sort of on the fringe of badge collecting.
How about 800?
4.
Yeah, I mean, I need to get 5.
Yeah, I'll give you $500.
Good deal.
All right, you want to write them up?
Yeah, sure. Come with me, man.
These Secret Service credentials are amazing. Even though McGrath is not exactly a household name, there's collectors out there who love stuff like this. So what exactly do we have here?
Like a big flashlight.
This is known as an infrared heat seeker for the Sidewinder missiles. They were attached to the F-4 Phantoms.
And should I call Homeland Security now, or?
I'm coming down to the pawn shop to sell my infrared heat seekers for the Sidewinder missiles. The reason I want to sell them is because my father needs money. There's a lot of collectors out there would love to own one. I mean, someone could say that they have one of these. It's amazing, amazing piece of technology.
Rick, this is first.
No, we've never had a guidance system for a missile. I've never really needed one. So this was attached to the F-4?
Yes, and they were used to guide the Sidewinder missiles.
All right. So where did you get this thing?
Well, my father used to do military surplus bidding in the 70s and 80s, and he bid on empty shipping containers, 400 of them. Sealed bid, he won it for $25.
Okay.
As he's loading them into the truck, he noticed some were heavy. He opened it up, and these were inside.
This is crazy. A guy buys a bunch of run-of-the-mill shipping containers at a government auction for $25 and finds these inside. That's incredible. But I gotta dig a little bit more before I have the Air Force come breathing down my neck. All right, this is really cool, but do you have paperwork from the Department of Defense or somebody saying you can own this thing?
Yes. They were supposed to have been destroyed, but they ended up at the auction.
And this is all from the Department of Navy, huh? Dear sir, the copy of the board's decision on your owning this.
Rick, that's official Navy documents. It looks like it's good to go.
Okay. So, apparently you own this. But this isn't an actual missile, right? It's been decommissioned.
Yes. I believe they're totally safe.
Okay. It is cool, though. I mean, I really do dig it. Before this, you had to see your enemy.
Yep.
These came out. Now you had dogfights where you were just looking at a radar screen inside the cockpit.
Right.
In 1964, this was so high-tech, it was unbelievable. This was Cold War technology. And the whole thinking was not if we were going to go to war with the Russians, it's when. It's something you didn't want to fall in enemy hands.
Right.
If this really is a Cold War era heat seeker, there's all kinds of people I could sell it to. Aviation collectors, war collectors, technology geeks. But I have to know for sure, is this thing what she says it is? Or if it's legal to buy. It's really interesting, I'll tell you that. What I'm trying to figure out is,
what the hell are you going to do with it?
I mean, are they worth any money? I mean, I don't know if this thing's worthless. I don't know if it's worth $20,000. I don't even know if it's legal to own these things. The last thing in the world I want to do is end up on the no-fly list. Let me go give someone a call, and we'll find out what's going on with it.
Great.
If I can, you can bet your ass I'm gonna try and buy this thing. I just don't want to end up with federal agents knocking on my door.
Hey guys, how we doing?
This is it, the heat-seeking device for an F-4.
Wow. I'm a U.S. Marine Corps F-A-18 pilot with 17 years of experience. I'm a graduate of the Naval Fighter Weapons School, Top Gun, and also a U.S. Navy Blue Angel pilot. Now, this is a very interesting item. I'm really surprised that you own this. Do you have documents that say that you can have this?
Well, what you do, we have a letter that says we won them.
Okay. You know, I almost didn't believe Rick when he called me. It's actually an AIM-9 heat seeker head. They showed me documents and paperwork, so they're legal to own it. It's very rare to have that outside of a military base, let alone in a pawn shop in Las Vegas.
So how exactly did these work?
This item is basically the top 1.5 feet of a 9-foot heat-seeking missile. If we were to take off this dome, there would be a mirror in there with another reflecting mirror that would actually spin, and behind that, we've actually got a filter. And that filter would be able to decipher some heat-seeking sources, i.e. an engine on a jet. Probably came out early 1960s. This was leading technology. So we went from shooting bullets, either the 50 millimeter or the 20 cal, and then we expanded it to missiles. And we were the first in the world to do that. So instead of shooting from hundreds of feet, we can now shoot out to a mile, mile and a half. So obviously that gave us an advantage early in Vietnam. National security is a big issue, especially nowadays. Back in the 1960s, actually this missile was compromised. Off a German base, an AIM-9 went missing. It was trucked past the Iron Curtain, and a year later, the communists had the exact same missile. So that advantage we had initially in Vietnam was gone by the late 1960s.
So you're not like a Russian spy or anything, are you?
Yet.
Okay, so is there any collector value for this thing?
It's in good shape. On a 1 to 10 scale as a fighter pilot, I'd give it about a 9. It's pretty neat. No one really has one. It's really commercial value, nothing. I'll be honest with you. You know, it's hard to put a dollar on it, but aviation museum, aviation nut, you know, heck, I'd like to have one at home. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man.
You bet.
Appreciate you coming out.
Good to see you. As a fighter pilot who has fired the AIM-9 missile, it's exciting to see this. If you find a person that really is into it, perhaps an old Vietnam F-4 pilot or somebody like myself, that could be a perfect item for him.
So how much were you looking to get out of this?
About $3,000?
No. I just don't know what to say. I'm thinking $500 and maybe I can do something with it. Maybe I can't. I don't know. It's a real shot in the dark at $500.
You don't think this is worth more money than $500?
I think it's a neat piece of history, but it's an antiquated thing that's going to sit.
So $750's out of the question.
$750's out of the question. I'll tell you what. I'll go $550, and I'm crazy even buying it, I think.
Okay, well, we have more, so I'll take $550.
Okay, $550. All right, let's go do some paperwork.
Thank you.
I'm psyched I got this. It's something that'll definitely get people in the door and have them talking. Even if I don't sell it, I'm just as happy having it sit on my shelf. It's awesome.
I would like to show you something that I have.
What is it, like a girdle or something?
Well, kind of. They were used to cheat at playing poker cards or something like that.
A lot of people got killed with those in this town.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. This is a pretty old device. It's about 1900s. I'm wanting to sell this anywhere from $1,500 to $1,600. We got it when Granny went into a nursing home, and she told me not to show anybody because it was illegal, so it was always stuffed behind the drawer.
Where did you get this?
My husband's grandfather owned a bar in the San Francisco area. One of the bar customers was going to prison, and he gave it to him and asked him to hold it for him.
Okay. I mean, the day they started people started gambling, I assume the very next day someone figured out a way to cheat.
I'm sure, yeah.
You know, everything from dice to cards, marking cards, and it's always been that. Looks like a mechanical device to cheat at cards. It's definitely cool. I mean, there's some really neat little engineering here. Do you know how any of this stuff works?
I have absolutely no idea.
Okay, I mean, we have like a little cord.
Dad, put it down.
I'm trying to figure it out here.
You're gonna break it. Nope, you just
that's
broke
what
it.
I thought I would have done.
Okay.
Now you broke it.
Of course, my dad has to pretend like he knows exactly how this thing works. Vegas may be a gambling town, but this is a little out of both of our wheelhouses. So what are you looking to do with it? Do you want to sell it, or?
I just want to sell it.
Any idea of what you want for it?
I'm thinking the range is anywhere from $600 to $6,000.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to call a friend of mine to come down and take a look at it. There's no way either of us are gonna know what this is worth.
Yeah?
I mean,
Who would you be calling?
I've got a friend who's a magician on the strip and collects all types of this stuff, and if anybody knows about it, it's gonna be him.
Let's do that. That would be great.
Be right back.
So I'm kind of concerned that the guys want to call a magician, and I'm not sure if a magician is qualified to give me value on a gambling product, but we're gonna see.
This is really cool, actually. Do you ever heard of the saying, "There's nothing up my sleeve"?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, this is the device that it started from. I can see why Rick called me in for a cheating device, because in magic, that's really what we do. We kind of cheat people out of reality. There's a guy who invented the first living device named Keplinger, and he was the #1 con man in the West Coast. He went up and down the Barbary Coast, the San Francisco coastline, cheating people. He came up with the first type called the Keplinger holdout. It was a card holdout, which meant it would actually hold the card within your sleeve, so it would hold it out until it would be switched with the cards in your hand.
This is really intriguing.
Now this one, by looking at the wells and the joints, the way it's designed, this is actually a Martin San Francisco card holdout, made in the 1920s, 1930s, all right?
Well, do you know how it works?
Yes, I do know how it works. And I actually brought a deck of cards with me.
Cool.
So here's what would happen. This area here is always called the thief. The reason why it's called a thief is because it would sneak out from your sleeve, grab a card and steal it, pull it back into your actual sleeve. And it actually fits right. All right, see how it pinches it. And this goes against your forearm. Rick, I'm gonna have you help me, do me a favor. Take that.
Okay.
Now, when it runs down your body, it comes all the way down with all these round joints. That's why they're round, so it rolls properly, all right? Now, this would be attached between your knees, and you'd open them up. And as you do that, it should slide. As long as we keep it pretty well linear, it should slide out. So pull.
Can I pull it?
Yeah, you can pull.
Oh,
So
cool.
that comes out?
Your secret
All
has
right.
been told.
Keplinger's success actually got the best of him. He got caught by some gamblers. They offered to either kill him or him to make the device for them. He made the device for them, and they all went out cheating people. They all get caught, and they went to jail for the rest of their lives.
So what do you think it's worth?
These are really cool because there's not many around, and this is an amazing shape. So a lot of people use them for museum pieces, or they use them as a cool thing in their home to display. For a value on this, what you're looking for is anywhere between $1,500 and $2,200.
Woohoo!
All right.
That's great. Thank you.
Man. You're welcome. Thanks for having
Appreciate
me in.
it, buddy.
Good seeing you guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you guys later. All right. Have a good day.
All right. He said it would go for like what, 15 to 22?
Retail.
that was like retailing it. I would give you $800.
2,000.
There's no way I could give you 2,000. There's just no way. There's no money to be made.
How about 15?
No, I'd give you like $800. It's going to be difficult to sell.
13.
You can always put it back in the sock
There's
drawer.
wiggle
You
room
don't
at
have-
13.
You don't
You
have-
heard the guy.
All right, $900.
$900.
All right, Till.
Well, you know, I've learned something by coming here. I figured out I need to be a better negotiator, but all in all, I think it was worth it.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing good.
I have a set of North Dakota controlled substance tax stamps. The legislatures passed a law back in 1989 requiring people with illegal drugs to purchase a stamp and apply it to their illegal drugs.
Who the hell ever would do that?
I am a stamp collector, so when I seen these up for sale, I decided to purchase those as a collector's item. I'm looking to sell the stamps just to get rid of stuff. My kids don't want it when I'm no longer around.
What's the difference between the different colors? Do you know that? Or?
Well, the green is the ones that were to be affixed to the marijuana.
No kidding.
The blue was controlled substances that are sold by weight, such as cocaine. And in the red, drugs that were sold by dosage, such as heroin.
I mean, I just can't believe the state of North Dakota actually paid to have these things printed.
Well, that didn't go over very well because most of the people that were required to purchase the tax stamp, they certainly didn't want to wave their hand and say, hey, I got illegal drugs here, I need to purchase tax stamps.
Any idea on what you're looking to get out of them? Or?
I'm looking to get $100. I've seen them priced on the internet for $125 per stamp.
Okay. Here's my issue. For me to be able to do something with these, I'm gonna have to actually pay to get these things framed. I mean, I hate to lowball you so much on them, but honestly, I'd offer you about 30 bucks for them.
I'd have to respectfully decline the $30. I mean, if you can get close to 100, I can maybe come down a little bit.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll do 50 bucks because I can buy a really, really cheap frame at the drugstore by my house.
Yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and do 50 on this.
Do 50? All right, man, I appreciate it. So meet me over here, we'll do some paperwork, all right?
All right. $50 is not as much as I was looking for, but I'm gonna take the money and I wanna split it up with my grandkids.
What do we got here?
I have a moonshine still here for you to check out.
A moonshine still?
Yeah.
Where did you get this?
I actually got it at a yard sale.
Interesting to say the least. To think it took thousands of years to figure out how to make alcohol. But once they figured it out, everybody was happy.
I buy and sell antiques and collectibles, and I knew immediately it was a moonshine still. I could tell by the copper worm and the way it was set up. I'm hoping to get $750, but I'll take a couple $100. I may look young, but I'm definitely over drinking age.
I will give you the fact that it's really cool. Do you know how to make moonshine?
I don't.
All right, first off, moonshine is not a drink, okay? It sort of got that name for illegal whiskey because during Prohibition, guys would make their whiskey illegally in the moonshine. They continued to make whiskey illegally even after Prohibition because alcohol was legal, but the federal government had a $7 a gallon tax on liquor.
Wow.
Okay? So there was still plenty of incentive to make illegal alcohol. Moonshining was and still is a dangerous line of work. The first 20% of the liquid that comes out of a still can be poisonous and make you go blind. So I'm assuming it doesn't work?
No, it actually, it doesn't make moonshine right now.
Okay. So how much do you want for it? For your still that doesn't work?
$750.
No. This whole valve has to be taken apart and probably rebuilt all inside. I'll give you $100 for it.
I mean, I could do 500.
I can't do $500. If it was in decent shape, I would. So.
Sorry, you could do 250?
No. I'll tell you what, I'll give you $150 and that is it.
150 is it, huh?
150 is it.
Good deal.
All right, let's go write this thing up.
Okay. You know, you gave me 150 and I feel okay about that. I bought it for $50 and it's a pretty good return.